Hey, guys, welcome to another episode of the Double AK podcast. And today we're going to be talking about productivity spurts. So, welcome to the Average African Kid podcast, and I am your host, Toyo Eresanara, on this very episode talking about productivity spurts. Have you ever gotten to a time in your life where things are just flowing? A time where, like, you're getting all the dishes washed a lot quicker, you are getting all your assignments done, you are crushing it in business, in the choir activity, you're up there in life, you just seem to be functioning at all on all cylinders rolling, and you seem to be getting everything done in the right manner at the right time. You just seem to be crushing life. The counter of that is, have you ever had times when you feel like the life is crushing you and everything is going haywire and you feel like you might as well just be buried into the ground with your head sticking out just in enough space for you to have small oxygen until you are forgotten by the world for the rest of your life? Well, I'm glad you've had both, because I've had both many a times, and I've had the median in between many more times than that. You see, life isn't built to have productivity as the default. At least I don't think so. That's why they come in spurts sometimes. But with these spurts, we can actually tune them to make them almost a default, like turning on a switch, because we know where to turn it on in the first place. So let me just get right into it and make it practical for you to enjoy. By the end of this episode, you should know how to get into productivity spurts and turn them from being sporadic into being more of a lifestyle. Hence, you can get a lot more done with the same amount of time you have. You might be able to do a lot more reading, a lot more studying the Bible, a lot more book club work, a lot more projects completed. You could do a lot more with your time. So, are you guys ready? Okay, let's dive right into it. Now, one of the biggest distractions to continued success and continued productivity is definitely the internet. It's definitely the internet. And one big part is YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, social media platforms, and other news platforms. And you might be asking, what are you talking about? These platforms help us connect, and they're like central to my business. Twitter, oh, I use Twitter to get information about my crypto assets. Thus, it is an essential part of my work life. And YouTube, oh, I learned so many things there, like so many free things to learn on there. Like if I hadn't used YouTube so often, I would have been in a hole and I would have never have made progress in my life. And I might have never found out about your podcast. And you might be right in all these regards, but there's something about these social media platforms that tends to draw you away from reality of life into a different world that they create by themselves. What I mean is this: if you walk into a room of millennials or people in their 20s or early 30s, the sad reality is that you'll find more than 70% on your phones. Put people in a room together, put young people in a room together and ask and just tell them, yeah, this is this person, and just talk. After a few minutes, someone's fingers will be itching, and before you know it, a buzz, bzz, 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 and then someone pulls out a cell phone, a smartphone, and they're on those phones. And we have a generation of people who are together physically, but who are separated miles and might as well be continents away because they don't talk to each other anymore. Households don't communicate anymore. People don't even talk to their spouses, to their children. Everybody's in a world of their own, either watching Cartoon Network or watching MKBHD or unbox therapy videos, or watching about the new iPads, or watching about Star Trek, or watching the new Apple series, or watching Squid Games, whatever. They are on these platforms, Netflix included, Apple TV included, and they are, there's Apple TV, Disney Plus rather. They are immersed, yes, and Apple TV too, immersed in a world which is not real. And let's bring that back into productivity sports. Productivity sports is not about being immersed in the world. Productivity sports is about being present in this one, being present in this world and doing things that you need to get done in a timely manner and get to the point where you optimized your life. So it's simple, right? What I'm trying to say, right? It's very clear. If you want to be productive, if you want to have more productivity sports and turn productivity into a lifestyle, you need to cut back on your social media output and input. Make sense? If you spend 2 hours a day on YouTube, that means you have 2 hours less in a day. If you just randomly pick up your phone and scroll as an instinct, if your first thing you do every morning when you wake up is to check your messages, immediately you get trapped in a hook where all of a sudden for the next hour of your morning you're scrolling through individual messages that may make you feel better or might make you feel worse. But you are still stuck in a world that was never intended to be part of your morning ritual and routine. So, other aspects that could give you productivity sports, you haven't taken a break in a while. You don't sleep, you work all day and all night, and you have no social life. You don't talk to anybody, but you're just stuck in your work life. Now, allow me to address these two issues here because if I address more than these two issues, I might run out of topics to talk about for another day. Ha ha ha. I'll stop here. The first one, I start with the last one. I start with the one about rest. Come on, don't kill yourself trying to get into a life that you want to have and end up wasting that life because you haven't rested. Your body is very fragile. Your body is a temple. Like they say it's in the scriptures, the body is the temple of the Lord. And if you don't give this body rest, what ends up happening is that you do climb up, and I've done it many times before. You can do TDBs, you can do all sorts of things. You do climb up that ladder, but when you get to the top of that ladder, what you find out is that you have sacrificed your own health to get something else. And that is not worth it, bros. That is not worth it in any stretch of your imagination. So take a balance and rest. Don't try and gain all this money or hustle too much. It's good to work hard. Sometimes you work till morning, but other times you let your body have a rest. And believe me, if you don't let your body have the rest, your body will take the rest from you. Whether it's malaria that pulls you down, or flu, or even COVID at a point in time, something happens and your body breaks down if you are not taking proper care of it. And that includes good food, good nutrition, have some fruits in your diet, have some wholesome stuff in your diet. So, and that is the nature of life. And secondly and firstly, let's talk about social media output. Now, this has been something that I have understood a bit more of recent. When you give yourself, like for example, there's a kind of a fast kind of setting. If you are fasting from technology, people who go through Lent, Catholics who go through Lent, they find out a new sense of spiritual awakening. Those who fast for any period of time, where they fast from technology, they find out that they are so much more rich in their spirits than they were before the fast. And now let's take it into another example. Let's not go as extreme as fasting, okay? Let's just go into the simple aspect of regular life, just taking a break from the internet and deciding that you do not want to open YouTube. You see, right now it's already built in as a habit or an instinct into you. Whether it's the radio you check, whether it's news articles, whether it's a wrong site you go watch, whatever you do on the internet, you are just addicted to it, and it's like a twitch response. You just immediately you open your phone, before you know it, you're on WhatsApp scrolling through the status, whatever you call it. And it's involuntary at this point in your life because you've done it for so long. Watch right now as we're talking right now. You picked up your phone and you started scrolling. Now you see you're doing the exact same thing right now. Literally as we are speaking, you are doing what we're telling you not to do. Come on. So if you want to live some more productivity spurts, try these things out. Reduce your social media output and your social media input. Reduce your digital footprint just a bit. Be present with the people that you love around you. Take a break, travel, rest your body, and be present in your circumstances. Go outside and smell the air. Do you know what the smell of rain is like? Do you know the smell of the air? Do you know what the smell of silence is like? Do you know what the crickets sing in the middle of the night? Do you know what the moon looks like with all of the lights on or through that wallpaper of yours? Have you gone to look at the stars? Have you gone to experience the scorching heat outside your air conditioned room? Have you gone to experience the scorching heat of outside your scorchingly hot room? Have you gone to experience life outside your immediate bubble? Have you taken some risks? Have you taken some steps? Have you taken some leaps? And with these things, of course, this is an oversimplification. It can go a lot deeper than this. Side note, I'm actually planning on writing a book about all these concepts. Maybe I should archive all my episodes that are philosophically deep or concept that I would like to add into the book. Maybe I could add that into the book one day. Maybe this could actually be a chapter in the book one day. Who knows? Let's wait and find out. But back to the main point. So that is how to have more productivity spurts. There's so many books I have read on productivity that have changed my life. And number one, I would recommend for you is Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits shows you how small habits change your life. And honestly, I don't practice everything in Atomic Habits because I forget. But once in a while, when I do things that are in Atomic Habits and I remember, I'm like, oh, that's what they were talking about. So that is essentially what you guys need for today. Productivity spurts. In my own life, you're witnessing another productivity spurts because of this past few days, I have gotten a lot more done, and I'm grateful to the Lord for this. A lot more done than I had gotten done in weeks. Like it just gets to a point where you have days that you're pushing everything forward, and another time you have like months where you feel like you're stuck and you didn't do anything at all with your life. Well, I'm out of that rut and I'm in a spurt right now and I'm growing. I'm growing as fast as I can. So thank you for tuning in to this particular episode. I know I'm not as regular as I used to be in those days, but come on, enjoy some spontaneity in your life, and let's roll, guys. Share this episode with someone you feel is lost in a digital world, someone you feel that you want to spend more time with in the real world, and someone you just feel just needs to hear this soothing set of instructions and advice and directions to live a more fulfilled life. So you can turn your productivity spurts into productivity timelines. Okay, take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Go and make stuff happen.